where unions representing bus drivers met today with employers in an attempt to end the strike. The nationwide bus strike entering its sixth day, and at this point is still set to continue. We speak now to Karl Cloete from Numsa. Karl, we've just come out of a very heated conversation between one of the other unions and the employers. The employers feel that as unions, you are simply not coming to the table, and perhaps you're not paying enough attention to the broader economic landscape of South Africa and the issues that affecting the consumers and even themselves as bus operators.
Well, I think we should say for the record that the employers and the representative I saw on your show this evening are completely disingenuous. We met last on the 30th of April. When the negotiations or interactions broke down, the employers communicated via the CCMA commissioner that unless Numsa accepts 9% and 8%, they would revert back to the initial offer of 8% year one, 8% year two. And they were giving us until Wednesday to accept this offer. The unions then decided that we would, through the bargaining council, request the employers to return so that we could negotiate a settlement or a package that would represent a settlement. The employers would be completely dishonest if they say we reverted back to 12%. This is what happened today. Firstly, in the morning, we requested the employers for a direct interaction between the unions and themselves. The CCMA could be there because we wanted to raise our concern that it's not helpful for them to go back to 8% when we were at 9 and 8. Secondly, we were saying, if this is the bad faith bargaining, would it not be bad faith if the unions were to decide to go back to 12%? So we didn't say we're back at 12%. We were saying, what if we were to do the same? It would simply not be helpful.
One of the things that has been disputed here is that this offer of a 9% and the ensuing ultimatum issued with it was ever on the table. Do the unions have concrete proof, as in are there documents that you can give us to show that in fact this was something that was indeed on the table? Because the employers today are saying that this is a fabrication by the unions.
Well, they would then have to accuse the CCMA commissioners, who was a go-between the two parties. They have refused to negotiate directly with us. They felt through the bargaining council that the CCMA should facilitate and mediate a settlement. And what we communicated in terms of 9% and 8% is what commissioners presented to us, and therefore we adjusted our own package proposal for the consideration of the employers.
What I'm still asking is this available in writing? Because there's now an issue of, you know, the idea that there are numbers and agreements that are being put out there that are in fact not correct is a big allegation, and you know, commuters who are at the receiving end of the strike continue to struggle. So if in fact there is a fabrication that allows the strike to continue going on for any longer than it has been, it is important that some of these facts come to the fore. So is that evidence that you as unions can provide?
Well, as part of the bargaining team, there's been nothing in writing before us. We must then call into question the credibility of the CCMA commissioners, which I do not want to do, because the manner in which they facilitated the process, insofar as we are concerned, was a genuine attempt to settle the strike. And so we don't have reason to disbelieve the commissioners who, in our view, acted in a manner that was both fair and was credible.
What happens now? What happens now? Because it is a serious impasse, and at this stage it looks like it's not going to end anytime soon. What's your next step?
Well, a couple of things. The first thing we should say that as the 5 unions negotiating with employers, we remain open and available at any given time to negotiate a settlement in the industry. 2, we initially proposed that we have a 1-year agreement. The employer came with a 3-year agreement, and ultimately we could find a space in between 1 and 3 years, and now there's the proposal of 2 years. 3, we don't want to settle on wages when in fact we're not addressing the exploitation in the industry, meaning that you would have in long distance driving 2 drivers, dual drivers, one at the steering wheel, the other one as an assistant. Now we refuse to accept that the assistant driver not be paid when leaving Cape Town for Johannesburg, because the danger for both would essentially be the same. But more importantly, and this is the compromise we offered the employers, if we can't agree now on the dual driver, insourcing, night shift allowance, let us establish a task team under the CCMA and allow the parties to work out modalities of how within this period we could settle the other issues. And employers have been arrogant to walk away from all of these proposals. We call on employers to negotiate directly with the unions. Let us look each other in the eye. The last point is that in April 2017, the parties signed for bus drivers a 36 rand per hour, and if you calculate it to 45 hours, you'll get to the 6,900 per month. So the notion of a 16,000 rand per month is a fallacy.